We have going a live simulcast on Spreaker. Spreaker, I'm not a paying member. Once the 15 minutes is up on Spreaker, make sure you go over it on YouTube, A20, and you will find the rest of it. Because I'm sure I'm going to go over 15 minutes because I like to elaborate on a lot of things. First, Notre Dame, as you can see by the jersey, all have a shot at making this a Final Four, but those are the 4 teams I am hoping will make my predictions look good. I really don't care, but this is what I would like for them to see. But I think with only 4 ranked teams, and I think Michigan team is good enough that they can beat Florida, Penn State, and Wisconsin. Now, all worries on that Ohio State game. They should go into that game 11-0, waiting for the Ohio State Buckeyes, who this year they come to Michigan, they come to the Big House. Their thing is, I mean, maybe they're the Wildcats too. Everybody's a fucking Wildcat. They're a 24th ranked team. They're Oregon State, Utah. Then they go to Notre Dame. They're at Arizona State, Arizona, at Colorado, and then of course the battle for the Big Bail at UCLA. So I think that if they can get past Stanford, they also have a good opportunity to run the table. They really do. I think they have a good time to run the table to go 12-0, get to that Pac-12 championship game, and then win that one to be 13-0 and 13-0 going into the college football playoff. Now, as a Notre Dame fan, I would like to see them lose, but I'm not going to go there just yet with Notre Dame. When we get to Notre Dame, I'll get to them in a second, but in my opinion, that's what happens with UCLA. I can't talk today. I've been having troubles all day trying to talk, doing my videos and everything. The USC game. I think without question, Alabama 13-0, 3 undefeated teams make the so I kind of think that they're so close. Obviously, Bob Stoops retired. He stepped down. The offensive coordinator is now the new head coach. And I think that this is going to be something that they want to. Now, even though the Big 12 has 10 teams, I think they've said that they're going to do a championship game. So, and they can get past Oklahoma State, and you have TCU, you have Kansas, and then 22nd ranked West Virginia. Now, all these rankings are going to change throughout the season. The teams will lose and go down, or teams will get better and go up. So you never know these teams. And then they win the next 3. They'll be 12-0 going into this new Big 12 championship game. They'll win the championship game, and then they will also be 13-0. So, for the first time in this new era of the playoff era, 4 teams will be undefeated going into the college football playoff. And as always, go over right now to H20 on YouTube. I'm going to finish up my preview section with the 4 local teams: Notre Dame, Illinois, Illinois. Let's go ahead and let's talk about my local teams here in Illinois. Let's start. 15. Was it 15 years ago? It's been close to about 15 years. Southern Florida was actually ranked number 2 in the country, if you may remember. That's 15 years ago, but the season ranked again. Not interesting. So I would be part of that Power 5. That's, not Power 5, but Power 5. They put one in that Power 5, and they put him into the Rose Bowl or the whatever. They put him in one of those bowl games. But if they can make it into the playoffs, that would be interesting. Because they have some cachet. They're at. They're at home to Nebraska. They're at Iowa, Rutgers, Minnesota, the number 9 Wisconsin, Purdue, Indiana, Ohio State, obviously, and then of course against Northwestern. I think without question, this should be an 8-4 team. That's what I see. I think Lovie Smith under Lovie Smith they should consistently be 8-4, nothing less. Nothing nothing more, but not like 11-1 sometimes if they get lucky, if it's a down year, or if people start if they start getting players for their team. I think that's great and that's wonderful. That should be part of their rebuilding year. They should never be under 500. Even though I think they should be 8-4, I'm not going to say this year. I'm going to say next year, because next year that's when. He would have 3 recruiting classes under his belt, and then that's when the 84s should start. And I don't know what it is. My voice is very deep, as it already is. And sometimes words get caught up, and it's just, I don't know, folks. I need a drink of water here. And let's do Northwestern. Okay, so my opinion, what I said about Lovie Smith, I think is certain about Pat Fitzgerald. Pat Fitzgerald has turned the Wildcats to where every now and then they'll jump up and they'll bite you in the ass and they'll get 10 wins and they'll go to the to the thing, and that's something that is great to see. And he's done such an excellent job. There was even talks about him a couple years ago taking the Texas job before Charlie Strong got it. Are the teams that the students that they are looking for? If they have that, other teams will take great athletes that maybe have other things. So they take a certain type of standard. They truly believe in the term student athlete, while a lot of the other colleges just believe in athlete. So recently they've trying to get games against Duke and Stanford and Notre Dame, so that those students that are looking at them, look, come to us, come to Northwestern. I like that. I like that about them, and I think they continue on to doing that. So they start with Nevada Saturday, then they play at Duke. See, then they have Bowling Green, then they get into your Big Ten schedule of Wisconsin, Penn State, Maryland, Iowa, Michigan State, Nebraska, Purdue, Minnesota, and then at Illinois. So they miss Michigan, they miss Ohio State. They do play Wisconsin and Penn State, who are right now in the top 10 of the polls. So they do play those guys, but again, this get past Wisconsin and Penn State, we're talking about an 11-1, maybe even a 12-0 Northwestern Wildcats team. Now that's not what I'm predicting. I think they will lose to Wisconsin and they will lose to Penn State. They will lose another game, whether it's Michigan State or Nebraska or maybe even Purdue. I think that would be perfect for them. 9-3 this year is where Northwestern should be. Go Cats! Huskies. Now, Northern Illinois Huskies are one of those teams that are in the other 5 pedigree, like Boise State has, where they are always seemingly just there, as they are there for the taking, and they do what they do best, and you expect them to be in the top 15. If I'm correct, Northwestern's homecoming games either against the Illinois Fighting Illini homecoming game is either against Indiana or it's the Northwestern game. It really should. For all the talk about the SEC, some of the things the SEC does is ridiculous. As we go back to Alabama, Alabama's homecoming game is against Mercer. Whatever. Okay, so. Now they get Northern. About the MAC and the things in the MAC, but again, I'm just going off of history. I'm going to say Northern Illinois is going to be 10-2 at the end into the conference championship game, the MAC championship game. They're going to win that. They're going to be 11-2, and I don't think I think that there's going to be another team out of the other 5 that's going to be better than them, and they will definitely be in the conversation. So I'm going to say an 11-2 for the Northern Illinois Huskies. Now, last but definitely not least, Cleveland as the starting quarterback. I think Notre Dame, and I said this just a minute ago, I said Notre Dame every 3 years should make it into the college football playoff. But every year, they should be no less than 8 wins. Every year. I said that about Illinois. They should no less than 8 wins. Because I know that an 8-win year should be the down year. Should be the rebuilding year for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Especially now since they do this thing where now they play 5 ACC teams. They play 5 ACC teams. So that's what this should be. The 18. And it used to be every year the Notre Dame Fighting Irish played 16. They was already in a conference of their own, Big 10 teams. Then they played USC and Stanford from the Pac-10, and they played Navy. So those were the 16, and then they had 6 games for everybody else, and they wouldn't put on scrubs. They played Pittsburgh and Boston College, and they played other teams. That were good teams. So they've always been that way. And now with this ACC team, I understand because Notre Dame joined the ACC and all the other sports, but they wanted to stay independent up the thing with Michigan again, and so that along with the 5 ACC games and Stanford, Navy, USC games. Then there will be Michigan. So basically, you're talking about 9 games every year that they, just like everybody and all the other good teams. Like this year, the second game of the season, they're playing Georgia, the 5th-ranked team. That's okay. They signed on to play Ohio State, I think, in the 2020 and 20 season, something like that. So, and I think that's okay. And then also, what they've also done is they've also gone with having the opener not be a strong team per se. They're playing at home against Temple, which I kind of do like that. I am fine with them doing let's say a soft opener. So and I think that opener proves to where they are at and where they're going to go. Like they thought the soft opener was against South Florida a few years ago, and South Florida blew them out of the water. and that turned out to be a bad year. So, and we'll see if they have a tough time with Temple. It's going to be it could be a average year. Fans like myself have something to look for. Let's go over the schedule. Ohio, which is something I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of wondering about that one. Here's the thing: Notre Dame has never played an FCS school. They have never played an FCS school. But that is kind of one that is kind of I'm wondering about. But that's okay. They're at North Carolina. Then that game against USC, North Carolina State, Wake Forest, Miami. I think Wake Forest would be the homecoming game. Then they get Navy at the neutral field, the Baltimore game. That's what they do. Or is it at home? Because there's a little star under it. I don't know what the star means. They don't have a play for it, so I don't know. I don't know if they're the home team in the Baltimore Stadium or if they're the home team at Notre Dame Stadium. I don't know necessarily exactly what that means, but if they're at home, that might be the homecoming game, and then they go to Stanford. The one thing I would change, I told you about other things I would change about Notre Dame's schedule. The other thing I would change about it is that I would really like to see Notre Dame take that last game and have that last game be a home game. You know, what they do is that they go out, they switch off. Stanford on the odd years, USC on the even years, and they go out to California and they recruit out in California. That's why they do that, which is totally understandable. But I would really like to see them play home games, basically because there might be snow. That's the reason why. I love snow games. I can't help it. I love snow games. Notre Dame and Indiana snow games. Wouldn't it be great to see, come to South Bend, Indiana, face Notre Dame, last game of the season, in the snow. How cool would that be? It does not happen, unfortunately, but there it is. My record for them, I'm gonna say 9-3. USC, the game against Miami, and the game against Stanford. So, I think they can beat Georgia because it's at home. Georgia because it's at home. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I think they can beat Georgia. And USC's at home, but I have USC going to the thing. So obviously they're gonna win. Miami and Stanford are on. So I just think that's what's gonna happen here. And so Navy's been a tough one in the ball game. So, really quick, let's go ahead and let's recap for the Michigan Rivalry, not Michigan State. Ooh. As here for my local teams, Northern Illinois 11-2 might make the New Year's 6, gonna fall out because I think someone else would pop up in there. Notre Dame 9-3. All right, so that is it. Right now, thank you guys. This is the first. I also wanted to do the whole site for podcasting, and every now and then I would do a podcast. It's free. It's 15 minutes. I think that's actually good enough for a podcast where I talk about sports. Where if you actually look and search for the game according to me, you might see my past streams. I did one probably when Jay Cutler was signed by Miami a couple weeks ago, so there's that. But so yeah, and I kind of wanted to do that last year. And also another thing was that I also done. So I kind of wanted to go ahead and do that. So I thought, to make it kind of differentiate, this one would be a live stream. And I had fun with this. This was fun. I recorded it and then I put it up. It was a rapid reaction. Talk about maybe you can talk about it live. Fans out there, yeah. After No Mercy, I will come on here. We'll talk about it. We'll review it, and then we'll have some fun with it. All right. So be on the lookout for that. Again, click the notification bell because when I go live, you get a notification that I'm live. And we can talk about WWE No Mercy. That is it for me right now. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. Go Cats!